you've talked, ad nauseum about, the so-called cape break since Ant-Man, and I'm curious though, like, is there an attitude or thought, like James Gunn on his side actually seems to be giving some free reign, more free reign to filmmakers. Mangold is not going to make a Swamp Thing that is a cookie cutter. Like he's going to make his
Not going to
film.
get mangold.
Exactly, exactly.
That pun was just sitting right there.
Exactly.
Um,
So, I mean, I don't know. Does that, I don't know if you've had conversations with James or not, but does that make it hypothetically even more interesting if you can still make your film within that framework?
I don't know. I mean, I think again, it's all based on the the title. I think it would be something where I think the thing is when those things have come up, and actually Ant-Man unfortunately fell into this as well, is the reason I wanted to do that in the first place was because I was inspired by the people who had got to do the first of something and kind of set the pace. I mean, we were
Right.
talking last night about the age we were when we saw Tim Burton's Batman. And and that movie, when that came out, it was both like the biggest movie of the year by far, and also so idiosyncratic and specific to Tim Burton,
Yep.
and incredibly quirky for a big studio movie. And I think that you felt that in when Sam Raimi did Spider-Man, you felt that when Chris Nolan did Batman Begins, and slightly like without going into the weeds and without breaking my NDA, um, the sort of the reason that I had to walk away from Ant-Man is because by the time that I had started doing it, which was kind of 8 years after I'd started writing it, now there was like a formula, and not just in terms of like a continuity within the movies, not just the movies themselves and the stories, but also like a house style and a look and a way of shooting things.
Yeah.
And sort of all the things that kind of like are less interesting to me, where on those movies is like there's a lot of second unit stuff. There's like a VFX unit.
Yeah.
So I basically couldn't, I knew I couldn't make that movie in the same way that I'd made Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and or even in the way that The Running Man sort of worked. And so that was definitely something that kind of gave me, well, I wouldn't say give me pause. I mean, give me the biggest pause.
Like,
Give me
see
pause.
ya.
I was like, bye.
But the rules, what I'm saying is like the rules
But I
have
should say, by the way,
seemingly.
our first podcast, me and Kevin Feige have actually made up in recent years. When they did that Empire magazine, I got him to do a piece for it, and it was actually the first email that we'd had together in like 6 years, and it was actually kind of sweet that we actually
Oh,
started talking again.
I wanted to imagine like a slow, beautiful hug, like the
I
light, the
haven't I
soft
haven't seen
lighting.
him in person since, but I will when I see him.